Most people believe there's only one green gemstone worth a fortune, the emerald. They're wrong. Hidden around the world are green gemstones so rare that some have sold for more than gold, while others are so scarce that most collectors will never see one in person. But here's the surprising part. The most valuable one isn't necessarily the brightest, or even the most famous. Today you'll discover 10 extraordinary green gemstones that completely redefine rarity, beauty, and value. And by the time we reach number 1, you'll understand why one remarkable green stone has become one of the greatest treasures the natural world has ever created. Number 10. Chrome diopside. Place this gemstone beneath a narrow beam of white light, and most people would make the same mistake. The color appears deep, vivid, and almost impossibly green. Its polished facets catch the light with a sharp brilliance, while the crystal itself can look cleaner than many emeralds displayed beside it. At first glance, chrome diopside seems like the kind of gemstone that should command an extraordinary price. But appearance is exactly where the deception begins. Chrome diopside belongs to the pyroxene mineral family. Its intense green color is largely produced when chromium enters the crystal structure, the same element responsible for the color of several celebrated gemstones, including emerald and Tsavorite garnet. Yet sharing a color-producing element does not make these stones equal. Chrome diopside is known for delivering exceptional color in relatively small gems. The difficulty appears as the stone becomes larger. Because the material absorbs light strongly, larger specimens often become too dark, losing the bright, open green that makes smaller examples so attractive. This creates an unusual contradiction. A larger chrome diopside may weigh more, but a smaller stone can appear far more beautiful. Collectors therefore look beyond carat weight. They examine tone, saturation, transparency, cutting quality, visible inclusions, and whether enough light can move through the stone to keep the green alive. Durability also matters. Chrome diopside is softer than many gemstones commonly chosen for daily wear jewelry. It requires more care, and that practical limitation affects demand and long-term market value. Can chrome diopside be worth more than gold? A fine faceted example may exceed the value of gold when compared by weight, particularly when the stone has vivid color and good transparency. But this does not mean every chrome diopside is exceptionally valuable. Commercial quality material remains accessible, and large dark stones may be less desirable than smaller, brighter gems. That is the first lesson of this journey. A gemstone can look luxurious without being one of the rarest treasures on earth. Color attracts the eye, but value is shaped by rarity, durability, size, quality, and demand. Chrome diopside proves that beauty can create an illusion of value. The next stone reveals the opposite problem. A gemstone can be genuinely rare, historically important, and still remain almost completely hidden from the world. Number 9. Hiddenite. If rarity alone determined fame, Hiddenite would be one of the most recognizable green gemstones on Earth. Instead, many collectors spend years studying gemstones before ever seeing one in person. Hiddenite is the green variety of the mineral spodumene, and its story begins in North Carolina during the late 19th century. Named after explorer William Earl Hidden, the gemstone quickly attracted attention for its delicate yet vibrant green color. For a brief moment, it seemed destined to become America's great green gemstone. But history took a different path. While emerald continued to dominate royal collections and jewelry showcases around the world, Hiddenite quietly slipped into the background. Its name faded from public awareness, even as fine specimens remained highly desirable among knowledgeable collectors. Part of that mystery lies in the stone itself. Its green color is linked to trace elements and complex geological conditions that nature rarely reproduces perfectly. Even when crystals are discovered, only a small percentage possess the transparency, color, and clarity needed for exceptional gemstones. Some crystals also display perfect cleavage, making cutting a delicate process where a single mistake can ruin months or even millions of years of natural perfection. That combination of rarity and fragility explains why outstanding Hiddenite is encountered far less often than many people realize. Can Hiddenite be worth more than gold? Exceptional gem quality examples, particularly those with vivid natural color and fine transparency, can command prices per carat that exceed the value of gold by weight. However, that does not apply to every specimen. Quality, authenticity, condition, and provenance remain the deciding factors. And ordinary material does not belong in the same category. That distinction reveals an important truth. The gemstone market does not reward a name. It rewards the rare intersection of nature, beauty, and scarcity. Hiddenite teaches that some of Earth's most remarkable treasures never become household names. Fame and rarity are not the same thing, and one should never be used as proof of the other. The next gemstone takes that lesson even further, revealing how a familiar name can cause one of nature's oldest green gems to be misunderstood before anyone even looks at it. Number 8. Green zircon. Few gemstones have been misunderstood as completely as zircon. Mention the name, and many people immediately think of cubic zirconia, the man-made diamond substitute found in inexpensive jewelry. That single association has caused countless natural zircons to be overlooked before they were ever given a fair chance. Yet natural zircon has nothing to prove. Long before cubic zirconia was ever created in a laboratory, zircon had already existed for billions of years. Some zircon crystals are among the oldest known minerals on Earth, preserving evidence from a planet that looked nothing like the one seen today. Green zircon tells a remarkable chapter of that story. Unlike emerald, its color is often linked to subtle changes within the crystal caused by natural geological processes over immense spans of time. The result is a rich green gemstone with impressive brilliance and strong fire, often displaying flashes of light that surprise anyone seeing it for the first time. To a gemologist, that brilliance is one of zircon's defining strengths. To a collector, however, beauty is only part of the equation. Fine green zircon with attractive color, excellent clarity, and expert cutting is considerably less common than most people realize. Specialists also pay close attention to the condition of the stone, as zircon is more brittle than many popular jewelry gemstones and requires careful handling throughout its lifetime. Can green zircon be worth more than gold? Outstanding natural examples with exceptional color, transparency, and cutting can achieve prices per carat that exceed the value of gold by weight. However, those prices apply only to the finest stones. Most green zircon remains far more affordable, proving once again that extraordinary quality, not simply the name of a gemstone, is what commands extraordinary value. Perhaps the greatest lesson of green zircon has nothing to do with price. It demonstrates how easily a familiar name can distort reality. One word was enough to convince generations of buyers that an ancient natural gemstone belonged in the shadow of a modern laboratory material. The next gemstone reveals an even greater surprise, where what appears to be a flaw inside the crystal may actually become one of its most celebrated and valuable characteristics. Number 7. Demantoid garnet. For most gemstones, perfection is the ultimate goal. Collectors search for better clarity, fewer inclusions, and crystals that appear almost untouched by nature. Every visible feature inside the stone is often viewed as something that lowers its value. Demantoid garnet turns that belief upside down. At first glance, the tiny thread-like patterns found inside some demantoids appear to be ordinary imperfections. To an inexperienced eye, they may even look like damage trapped within the crystal. To experienced gemologists, they tell an entirely different story. Known as horsetail inclusions, these delicate golden fibers became one of the most recognizable characteristics associated with fine demantoid garnets. Rather than hiding the stone's history, they preserve evidence of the geological environment in which the crystal formed. Although similar inclusions have been documented in material from more than one locality, they remain one of the features specialists study carefully when evaluating exceptional stones. That remarkable combination of beauty and geological evidence helped Demantoid earn a reputation unlike almost any other green gemstone. Discovered in Russia's Ural Mountains during the 19th century, Demantoid quickly became admired for another extraordinary quality: its fire. Because of its exceptionally high dispersion, a well-cut demantoid can separate white light into brilliant flashes of spectral color that rival, and in some lighting conditions even exceed, the colorful flashes seen in diamond. The result is a gemstone that seems almost alive as it moves beneath the light. Can Demantoid garnet be worth more than gold? Exceptional stones with vivid green color, strong brilliance, fine transparency, desirable size, and outstanding provenance have achieved prices per carat that surpass the value of gold by weight. Yet those examples remain uncommon, and most demantoids do not belong to that elite category. That distinction matters. The value does not come from the name alone. It comes from the rare moment when color, optical performance, geological history, and collector demand meet inside a single crystal. Demantoid teaches one of the most surprising lessons in gemology. Sometimes the details that appear to reduce perfection are the very details that reveal authenticity. The next gemstone introduces another unexpected twist, proving that one of the world's finest green gems does not even belong to the gemstone family most people expect. Number 6. Tsavorite garnet. For generations, green gemstones were measured against a single standard. If a stone was green, the first question was almost always the same. How does it compare to an emerald? Tsavorite never accepted that comparison. Discovered in the late 1960s near the border of Kenya and Tanzania, this remarkable green variety of grossular garnet introduced collectors to a gemstone that possessed extraordinary color without belonging to the beryl family at all. Its vivid green comes primarily from traces of vanadium, and in some deposits, chromium also contributes to its rich color. Unlike many famous green gemstones, Tsavorite is prized for the fact that its beautiful color is typically natural, requiring no routine clarity enhancement to reveal its character. That alone has earned it enormous respect among gemologists and serious collectors. Yet its greatest challenge is not color, it is size. Nature rarely produces large, clean Tsavorite crystals. As crystal size increases, the number of specimens with exceptional transparency drops dramatically. Finding a gemstone that combines vivid color, excellent clarity, and significant carat weight becomes increasingly difficult, which is why outstanding Tsavorites command such admiration within the collector community. Experienced buyers rarely ask only whether the stone is green. They study how evenly the color is distributed, how much light returns through the crown, whether the cutting preserves brightness, and whether the crystal displays the lively appearance that distinguishes exceptional material from ordinary examples. Can Tsavorite be worth more than gold? Exceptional gem-quality stones with outstanding color, clarity, and larger sizes can achieve prices per carat exceeding the value of gold by weight. However, those prices represent the finest examples rather than the entire category. Most Tsavorite trade at far more modest levels, reminding collectors that rarity exists on a spectrum, not as an absolute. Perhaps the greatest lesson of Tsavorite is that true value does not depend on living in the shadow of a famous name. It became one of the world's most respected green gemstones, not by imitating emerald, but by proving that nature could create another masterpiece through an entirely different geological journey. The next gemstone takes that lesson even further, revealing a crystal so extraordinarily rare that scarcity alone still could not guarantee widespread recognition or an unlimited market. Number 5. Green sphene. Most people believe diamond has the most spectacular sparkle of any gemstone. It is one of the oldest assumptions in the jewelry world. Green sphene, also known by its mineral name, titanite, quietly challenges that belief. At first glance, it appears to be another attractive green gemstone, often displaying shades that range from olive green to vivid yellowish green. But the real surprise begins the moment light enters the crystal. Instead of simply reflecting light, a fine green sphene can break it into brilliant flashes of red, orange, yellow, blue, and green with extraordinary intensity. Gemologists call this property dispersion, and sphene possesses so much of it that, under the right lighting, its colorful fire can exceed that of diamond. It is a breathtaking performance that many people never discover simply because the gemstone remains relatively unknown outside collector circles. Yet beauty alone does not make green sphene exceptional. The mineral forms under highly specific geological conditions, often within metamorphic and igneous rocks, where titanium becomes concentrated over immense periods of Earth's history. Transparent crystals suitable for fasting are uncommon, and producing a clean, well-cut gemstone requires rough material that nature provides only sparingly. Collectors, therefore, look beyond the dazzling flashes of color. They study transparency, the richness of the green body color, the precision of the cut, and whether the stone maintains its brilliance from multiple viewing angles. They also understand that sphene is softer than many popular gemstones, making outstanding, well-preserved examples considerably less common over time. Can green sphene be worth more than gold? Exceptional gem-quality stones with vivid color, remarkable clarity, and superior cutting can achieve prices per carat exceeding the value of gold by weight. However, those examples represent the finest end of the market. Most green sphene remains far more accessible, proving once again that extraordinary quality, not simply rarity or optical beauty, creates extraordinary value. Green sphene delivers another important lesson. The brightest performance is not always given by the world's most famous gemstone. Sometimes one of nature's greatest optical masterpieces remains hidden simply because few people know where to look. The next gemstone reveals an even stranger phenomenon, where a single crystal can appear to change its identity entirely as the light around it changes. Number 4. Alexandrite. Most gemstones have a single identity. Their color may become lighter or darker depending on the lighting, but fundamentally, they remain the same gemstone every time they are viewed. Alexandrite is different. In daylight, a fine alexandrite often displays a rich green to bluish-green color that can easily convince an observer they are looking at one of the world's finest green gemstones. Yet the moment the lighting changes, the crystal begins one of the most extraordinary optical transformations found in nature. The green slowly gives way to shades of purplish red or raspberry red. It almost seems impossible. The explanation lies deep within the crystal's atomic structure. Tiny amounts of chromium cause alexandrite to absorb different wavelengths of light in an unusually selective way. Because daylight and incandescent light contain different spectral distributions, the gemstone reflects different colors under each light source, creating the famous color change effect that has fascinated gemologists for generations. The phenomenon was first recognized in Russia's Ural Mountains during the 19th century, where the earliest discoveries immediately attracted attention for both their rarity and their astonishing optical behavior. Since then, additional deposits have been found in several countries, but truly exceptional stones displaying a strong, dramatic color change remain exceedingly uncommon. Experienced collectors evaluate far more than the color change alone. They examine how vivid the green appears in daylight, how complete the transition becomes under warmer light, how clean the crystal is, and whether the gemstone maintains brightness throughout both appearances. Stones combining a saturated green, a strong red transformation, excellent clarity, and larger size represent the highest tier of the market. Can alexandrite be worth more than gold? Without question, exceptional natural alexandrites have sold for prices per carat far exceeding the value of gold by weight. Yet only a very small percentage possess the combination of color, clarity, size, and dramatic color change required to reach those extraordinary levels. Most natural alexandrites are valuable, but only the finest examples become legendary. Alexandrite teaches perhaps the most remarkable lesson of all. A gemstone's greatest value may come not from remaining the same, but from revealing a completely different identity when the world around it changes. The next gemstone demonstrates that even perfect beauty can be overshadowed by something far more powerful. The story of where it came from and the civilization that transformed it into a symbol of ultimate prestige. Number 3, green diamond. Most people assume a diamond's color was created deep inside the earth. That is true for many natural diamonds. Green diamonds, however, often follow a far more unusual path. At first glance, their soft green appearance seems almost impossible for a diamond. Yet in many natural examples, the color was not produced while the crystal was forming. Instead, it developed much later, after the diamond had already completed its journey through Earth's mantle. Over immense spans of time, the crystal was exposed to naturally occurring radiation from surrounding rocks. This radiation altered the atomic structure, within an extremely thin layer near the surface of the diamond, creating the distinctive green color that collectors prize today. That remarkable origin also explains one of the greatest challenges in the market. A green diamond may appear perfectly natural, but appearances alone are never enough. Because artificial irradiation can produce a similar color, every exceptional green diamond must undergo careful laboratory examination before it can be confidently identified as natural. Specialists study subtle color distribution, microscopic characteristics, spectroscopic features, and other diagnostic evidence to distinguish a naturally irradiated diamond from one whose color has been enhanced after mining. For serious collectors, that scientific confirmation is every bit as valuable as the gemstone itself. Only when rarity is supported by reliable authentication does confidence truly exist. Can a natural green diamond be worth more than gold? Without question. Fine natural green diamonds are among the rarest colored diamonds on Earth, and exceptional stones with attractive color, strong documentation, and significant size have sold for prices per carat many times greater than the value of gold by weight. Yet those extraordinary prices belong to an exceptionally small number of natural specimens. Most diamonds marketed as green are either lighter in color or have received treatment to produce their appearance. Green diamonds remind us that the greatest treasures are not always defined by what can be seen. Sometimes the most important evidence exists within microscopic features that only science can reveal. The next gemstone reaches the very top of the list, where value is shaped not only by extraordinary rarity, but also by centuries of culture, craftsmanship, and a level of demand that few other green gemstones have ever achieved. Number 2, Imperial jadeite. Many people assume the world's most valuable green gemstones owe their worth to dazzling brilliance or dramatic flashes of light. Imperial jadeite proves that true value can be built on something far less obvious. Unlike faceted gemstones that sparkle with every movement, the finest jadeite displays a smooth, almost glowing appearance. Its beauty seems to emerge from within the stone itself, creating a soft translucency that collectors often describe as a living light rather than a surface reflection. That distinctive appearance begins with an extraordinary geological journey. Jadeite forms under immense pressure deep within subduction zones, where one tectonic plate is forced beneath another. These rare conditions produce an exceptionally tough mineral that can survive for millions of years before uplift and erosion eventually bring it closer to the Earth's surface. Even then, finding material suitable for the highest quality gemstones remains extraordinarily uncommon. Among all jadeite, one variety stands above the rest. Known as Imperial jadeite, it is recognized for its vivid, evenly distributed emerald-like green color, fine translucency, and remarkably smooth texture. Achieving all of those characteristics in a single piece is exceptionally rare, which is why only a small fraction of mined jadeite earns this prestigious classification. For experienced collectors, color alone is never enough. They carefully examine translucency, texture, color uniformity, craftsmanship, and perhaps most importantly, authenticity. Because high-quality jadeite commands extraordinary prices, advanced testing and trusted laboratory certification have become essential parts of the market. Can Imperial jadeite be worth more than gold? Absolutely. Exceptional Imperial jadeite has achieved prices per carat that exceed the value of gold many times over, particularly for untreated material displaying outstanding color, translucency, and provenance. At the very highest level, museum-quality pieces have sold for astonishing sums at international auctions, demonstrating that demand for the finest jadeite extends far beyond the jewelry industry. Imperial jadeite reveals an important truth about rarity. Some treasures become valuable not because they produce the brightest sparkle, but because generations of collectors, artisans, and cultures have recognized an excellence that nature creates only on the rarest occasions. The final gemstone takes that idea even further, introducing a green crystal so exceptionally rare and coveted that even among elite collectors, owning one remains an extraordinary achievement. Number 1, Grandidierite. Many people assume the world's rarest green gemstone must be an emerald. Collectors know the truth is far more surprising. Hidden among the world's most extraordinary minerals is a gemstone so uncommon that even experienced gemologists may never encounter a truly exceptional example in person. Its name is Grandidierite, discovered in southern Madagascar in 1902 and named after the French explorer Alfred Grandidierite. This remarkable mineral remained largely unknown for decades. The reason was simple. Although mineral specimens could be found occasionally, transparent crystals suitable for fine gemstones were extraordinarily rare. For much of the 20th century, collectors admired Grandidierite as a mineral rather than as a gemstone because faceable material was almost impossible to obtain. Its remarkable appearance comes from a complex magnesium-aluminum borosilicate crystal structure containing traces of iron. The finest specimens display beautiful bluish-green to greenish-blue colors with exceptional transparency. Even more fascinating is a property known as pleochroism, where the gemstone reveals different shades depending on the direction from which it is viewed. As the stone slowly turns beneath the light, subtle flashes of blue-green and sea-green seem to emerge, giving it an appearance unlike almost any other green gemstone. Yet beauty alone does not explain its extraordinary reputation. Nature rarely produces grandidierite crystals that combine vivid color, excellent clarity, large size, and strong transparency. Most crystals contain significant inclusions or are too opaque to produce fine gemstones. As a result, every high-quality facetted grandidierite represents an exceptionally rare geological event that cannot simply be recreated or predicted. For serious collectors, every detail matters. Specialists carefully evaluate color saturation, transparency, pleochroism, cutting quality, and overall balance before considering rarity itself. Because the gemstone is so uncommon, reputable laboratory identification is also essential to confirm its identity and distinguish it from other green minerals with a similar appearance. Can grandidierite be worth more than gold? Absolutely. Exceptional gem-quality grandidierites have achieved prices per carat many times higher than the value of gold by weight. However, those extraordinary prices apply only to the finest transparent natural stones. Most specimens fall well below that level, reminding collectors that rarity alone is never enough. Quality remains the defining factor. Perhaps that is what makes Grandidierite such a fitting conclusion to this journey. It is not the most famous green gemstone. It is not the brightest, and it rarely appears in museum displays or jewelry stores. Instead, it represents something even more remarkable. A gemstone created so infrequently that owning a truly exceptional example remains an achievement reserved for only a handful of collectors worldwide. In the world of rare green gemstones, Grandidierite is a powerful reminder that nature's greatest masterpieces are often the ones almost no one ever gets to see. The world's most valuable green gemstone wasn't an emerald, and that is exactly what makes nature so fascinating. Behind every one of these remarkable stones lies millions of years of Earth's history, creating treasures far rarer than most people ever imagine. If you enjoyed this journey, subscribe for more incredible stories about the world's rarest gemstones and hidden natural wonders. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next adventure.